you've just finished your mock exams, so what should you do after mock exams? First of all, read over your responses and the feedback you received. Why do that? Because it helps you identify what parts of your response went well, and this allows you to know what you can continue doing for the final exams. Furthermore, it helps identify what needs to be improved and focused on. So then also check that the mark you got for each question. You might have scored highly in these mocks, but you're missing points here and there. This highlights what you're missing and in order what to do to get full marks. So you might get what is equivalent to a 7 in the IB, but you're in a very low 7, you're on the boundary of a 6. So check these markings very carefully, where you missed points and what to improve on. Thirdly, ask questions if you need clarity or help. There is no shame on this because you need and want to improve. Clarify everything you're confused about in the mocks, whether it be topics, whether it be questions, whether it be your response, whether it be the feedback you got from the teacher's marking. Clarify everything. Ask teachers, ask classmates, ask seniors who've gone through them, ask the internet. But be careful when you ask the internet because sometimes their answers are not related to the IB syllabus. Finally, look through textbooks. You feel like you're done with textbooks because you've covered the entire unit, but sometimes there's still valuable information in the textbook in itself. The answers may be in the textbook. Tip number four, identify what needs to be most improved. Was it knowledge about a specific topic in the subject? Was it your time management? Was it the organization of how you answered the question in terms of writing structurally if for an English class, or even for history if you couldn't convey your ideas properly? Was it your handwriting? I actually had a classmate whose biggest problem coming out of mocks was his handwriting. He wrote an amazing response when he read it out loud, but the teacher just could not read it. And this is a big problem because then how can your examiners read it, right? This helps you, by doing this, it helps you be focused with the remainder of your time. So for example, my classmate who had atrocious handwriting in the mocks, he worked on his handwriting for the next few weeks, and it actually helped because he knew his concepts were covered, he knew how to answer the questions, so he just kept practicing handwriting it, and he was all good for the actual exam. So it was a readable handwriting. He never had perfect cursive handwriting, but it was readable, which is all that was needed for him to improve, to actually score the points he deserved in terms of quality. Number 5, with this in mind, with what you have to improve in mind, create an actual plan on how you'll practice to improve on these parts. Are you going to do more past papers? That can be because you need to improve your time management. That could also be because you need to improve your organization. Are you going to do flashcards? This can be because you need to increase the knowledge, understanding, or even know more case studies or variety of things in the subject. Or are you going to be like my classmate and improve his handwriting and just keep handwriting and not really caring about the content too much, just making sure his handwriting is legible. Finally, create a revision plan. I can't stress that enough, leading up to your exams, because from mocks to exams you usually have a month and a half, and you're going to feel like that's plenty of time, and you're going to be overwhelmed with the amount of time you have and you don't know how to dedicate it, and in the end you're just going to be practicing the things you know you can do well, or you're going to practice the things that you only can't do and overlook the things that you think is easy, and then in the end it kind of backfires. So in my tip is dedicate the most time on the subject, the skill, or the paper you need to improve on the most. That's true. You need to improve on it, dedicate time on it, but you also have to work effectively and intelligently. Secondly, be humble. Still revise and study the subjects or the papers that you think or you walked out of mock exams with as an easy 7 or an easy high mark. You might have thought it was easy to get that, but maybe you're on the cuff of getting a lower grade boundary, or maybe just do not overlook it because it could be the one that brings your whole grades down in the final total mark because you were overconfident you knew everything. Also, do not burn out. schedule breaks or rewards for yourself. It's important to understand that all of this is stressful and you have to have something to look forward to in order to make this a process you can actually learn from. But I'm gonna do a few more videos about tip number 6 of how to create a revision plan, how to stick to it. So stay tuned for my revision schedule videos, how to make this, how to stay true on it, all of that. So you're almost at the finish line. Keep pushing in these next few weeks and score well on those final exams by using the next few weeks wisely and learning from your mock exams. All the best, everyone.